Hey, after a spirited conversation last night after the meeting, I want to say that, my hope is that the jail issue will not go away. It is a requirement. I hope that you guys will consider the options. I know that, the vote count came in low, but I believe that you guys made a strong appeal that people recognize that there's a need for a new jail. Maybe there's a need for a different plan. So that's all I wanted to say. So thank you.
Anybody else on this first call? If you want to speak later, there are...
Not till later.
Okay. You know what to do. All right.
Now be nice. Tell me what I can do.
So moving along to agenda item number 4. Consider authorizing the friend of the court to hire an administrative assistant at circuit court salary grade 3 to fill a vacancy.
I'll make that motion.
Or
All right, discussion. I see that Chrissy Lab, the interim friend of the court, is here. Chrissy, did you want to make a presentation or say anything?
I just snuck in. It's just to fill a vacancy.
To fill a vacancy. All right. Any other discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes to tomorrow night. Item number 5, consider authorizing the circuit court to enter into a contract for mental health court services with Shiawassee Health and Wellness and authorize the board chair to execute the board's approval of the contract.
I'll make that motion.
or
Is there any discussion on this or any comment? I see Chrissy is
Good luck. Good luck.
Thanks. Well, maybe you don't know, we launched mental health court on June 3rd. So we are active, up and running, and the statute requires that we partner with Shiawassee Health and Wellness. So what this does is just lays out those services and the time frames in which we can expect to receive these.
Can you tell us when mental health court is meeting?
Mental health court meets Mondays. Team meeting starts at 2, and the court hearing starts at 3.
And that's open just like the drug court at 3 o'clock is?
The hearing, yes.
Yeah, the hearing,
it is,
right.
yes. Team is not, but the hearing is, yes.
Okay.
all right. Any other discussion? All in favor of moving this to tomorrow night, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Item number 6, other agenda items. We do have one that was just presented to us. I understand that it was submitted last week and then kind of shuffled around, so we have this in front of us. The commissioners haven't had a chance to look it over, but I think we have something here to talk about. The action requested is to make a job classification in the AFSCME Local 1059 contract under animal control for the, MCOLES Certified Animal Control Officer. The rate of pay for this position would be grade 5, step 5, $19.64 an hour with step raises pursuant to the union contract.
So moved.
Support.
Okay, so some discussion on this. Somebody have information to give us?
Good evening. For those of you that don't recognize me, I'm Under Sheriff Branshaw.
Oh,
Out of uniform, I know, I just look like a human being. It's crazy. This was actually talked about in negotiations. The unit has an animal control position, is non-certified. Our current animal control officer is a certified police officer. That's what the MCOLS signifies. This position has been trained to respond, to back up our deputies, other officers within the county. Critical incidences, we've equipped his old truck and going to be his new truck with police lights, siren, he has a rifle, shotgun. So he does respond to law enforcement situations. Being a certified animal control officer helps us because in the past when it wasn't a certified position, if he was on a complaint and came across a person that had a warrant, then we'd have to have a deputy come in and effect that arrest. Because he's certified, he can do all that. He can take his complaints, he can take them to the prosecutor's office, he can swear to his warrants, he can finish that complaint without having to get another deputy involved. in the budget hearings, we actually budgeted enough money in 2019 for $21 an hour, because we were anticipating this through negotiations. So the money's there. Speaking with Deputy Stack Schulte, he's at, I think 18, we just moved him up, correct, Mike? 1890.
As of April 9.
Right. So instead of creating a new step scale at this time, I was looking at the ASME contract, and we could keep the step 5 and move him up one scale, which is $1.04 an hour raise for him. If he was to be moved over to the Teamsters contract, his pay rate would be $23.73.
And so that would be, when you say moved over to the Teamster contract, that would be if he was like road patrol deputy?
Yes.
Right. So we're in essence getting a additional road patrol deputy at and also animal control. We have another
At a $4 an hour.
less than, right.
Yeah.
And plus we've approved the vehicle already,
Yeah.
that's gonna be upgraded.
And I did speak with ASME today. They wouldn't contest this addition to their contract, so
They wouldn't?
they would not. No.
So during the day, what does this mean? How many, in a typical day, how many deputies do you have out, and and then he would be added, so we're going from one.
Day shift, full manpower, we're at 3. So we're going to, he's out there with 4.
And that's what, and he does what, Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday. He occasionally will take a day off and do a Saturday if he can't make contact with people. He moves his hours around. He does a fantastic job for us. His numbers, he's 87 complaints ahead of last year already, so his job's picking up for some reason. And you don't ever hear a peep from him. He just does a great job for us. So
This already is a position, someone's working there, this is just a matter of making a job classification.
Yes.
and that.
yeah. And that's the request. Any other questions?
It's a no-brainer.
All in favor, go ahead.
I talked with the undersheriff yesterday or the day before. Well, first of all, I very much support the concept. That job doesn't have to be certified, but because he is, and he wears a deputy's uniform, he can act as a deputy in the system in the manner that the undersheriff has discussed. I think though, instead of just raising him a step on his current scale, then come the next year, he'll be at the top of the scale, which is fine. But the problem is, then there's no differentiation. He just moved him up a step, so he just got there a year sooner without actually being paid more because he's certified. My suggestion would be that he's on the scale, and the scale, and I could write this up, where if you have a certified deputy in that position, then what they get paid is the scale plus an additional amount. That way, when he gets to the top of the scale, he's still getting an additional amount for being certified and being a deputy. I think that's the way it should be done. I agree with the concept, but I don't think it's going to be solved by just taking him up a step and then when he hits the top, he's still at the top without a difference.
And that would be fine. I was anticipating at the end of the contract would be at the 2038, which was the last step in that scale, and then it could be renegotiated with the union. But we have budgeted $21 an hour
So
in the budget.
Down the road then, would the idea be you keep that position in the ASME, or would eventually, would maybe that jump over to Teamsters, or something to be determined?
To be determined. I'd prefer it to stay
But
over.
if we vote on it right now like it is, at least this gets the ball rolling and he's.
So is it true that this request is saying that this position and this person has to be a deputy?
Yep.
So that would eliminate what you're talking about, saying that the person could or could not be a deputy, and if they were a deputy, they would have a differential in pay, where this request is saying this person has to be a deputy.
Ultimately, where we would like to be is have, like Mike said, the 2 pay scales, where you have an animal control officer non-certified animal control officer certified.
As he states, there are reasons.
There's
to
great,
have
yeah, there's great benefits to have that position certified.
room to
But
have it certified or not certified, depending on what, you know, how things work out. Flexibility is important in some of these things. You know, if if the board would like, I can get with the undersheriff, and I can draw up a draft of this tomorrow after the leadership comes meeting and before I call. But nevertheless,
I mean,
we could draw something up. Is this something that needs to be done this month or could it be done next month?
well, we were going to do it at the beginning of the year, and we're 6 months into the year, and
All right.
you know, we just caught
Well,
up.
we could draw up something, I think, if we talk tomorrow.
a wage scale?
I think it'd be this wage scale plus a plus factor, and we can discuss what that would
I
be.
mean,
In effect, it'd be like,
let's talk to the wage consultant too, because when we factored his job, did we factor it as a score, as a certified?
It just says,
controller?
it just says animal control
Or
officer.
did we just
I-
not have that factored in?
Yeah,
That's
I don't
what
believe it was
know.
factored
I
in.
would
If he
say this.
factored that in as a certified,
I
then I don't want us to
you
create
need-
a scale for
well,
something that's above.
I get that, but I think you'll find he did not. And the reason I say that is because if you said he had to be a certified police officer and a deputy, because this is both, he's a deputy too, and the sheriff doesn't have to make anybody a deputy. But if he's both, then it'd be, if you could require that as part of the job, then it makes it hard to keep him in Ashby. Because now it's starting to sound like a regular deputy that gets assigned, plus under the Teamsters contract, you could have people bumping him out of the position. I don't think you really want that. And you do want the flexibility.
What do you,
I don't think they're looking for that.
I'm
To
just
move him to
strictly-
Teamsters?
I'm
No,
ju-
we're not
I'm not
moving.
talking about Teamsters, I'm just strictly talking about, did our wage consultant score this as a certified officer's position and not as a just regular animal control guy that runs around with a net, you know, or whatever?
You would have to look at the job
I don't know.
description. We would. That's right. That's right. So long with
So I mean,
I know.
that's just
And
what I was asking.
And
mean,
I
don't
looked through
want
the
us
wage
to-
scale, and it doesn't refer anything to certified police, it just says animal control.
That's all I said, just simple call to Mark, and just he'll say, well, no, because most aren't, or no, or yes, because they are, just a simple call, yeah, you know.
Yeah. So I was looking for that.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, no.
all right, perfect.
Okay.
So if that'd be all right with the board, I'll talk with him tomorrow and we can have something.
So do we want a different motion, a motion to move this
You can
item
mod-
to tomorrow night with modifications by the town
So let's-
coordinator?
You can, the motion makers can
Let's
modify
save
it,
our motion, get it passed tomorrow, based on what we find out, we'll modify it.
and that's okay with my second.
What's that?
That's okay with my second.
All right.
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Just want to clarify for the minutes, I'm taking the language in action required. That's the language I have here in the motion. Master and Plowman supporting.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so move on to tomorrow night.
Make sure.
Are there other agenda items? All right, hearing none, our second call to the public, I have a name. Les Schneider. The floor is yours for 3 minutes.
Actually, I want to wait till the next meeting, because it's under a health board issue.
Okay. Then I will.
That's okay.
Hand that to the next chair. All right, is there anyone else who would like to address this committee? All right, I adjourn this meeting.
Yeah.
would that be you, Bob?
Yes.
All right, floor is yours.
Getting up and down all doggone day, I'm getting tired. Anyway, couple fast questions is, first things, you guys, I gave you a bunch of information last month on tiny homes. That what I've been telling you is absolute. Tiny homes can help with homeless veterans. You don't have to have water, you don't have to have sewer, you don't have to have electrical. It's considered a utility trailer with a little homemade cabin on it. Being utility, it can be parked anywhere. It's real simple. They are all being very well insulated. So that in the winter, the guys can stay warm. We're building them tiny because the smaller it is, the easier it is to keep it warm. The versus what they're doing now, which is sleeping in boxes, under tents, breaking into places to try to get out of the weather. We're trying to give them an option. Okay? It's not going to cost the county anything. Myself, Matt Shepard, and a few other veterans, we are donating our time, materials, and money to build these things. We don't expect the county to do anything on that. I have picked up in the last month and a half. I picked up 3 companies, all from Chesaning area. One, he builds cabinets, and he's going to put them in free. Anything we bring him. He's got a buddy that does floors. He's going to put floors in them, free. And there's another gentleman, his is that just down the street does RVs, renovates them, fixes them, whatever. They are talking about donating windows, doors, whatever, to put in them. So all we got to do is build them a box, put it on wheels. They'll do everything else, which is going to be a lot prettier thing than what we would come up with. Okay? As I say, it's all free. All we were looking for is a piece of grass that we could park these things on that gives them availability to go to a bathroom, walk across the street to Myers or to McDonald's. There's 2 churches in the area. SATA is already going there 6-7 times a day into that property that we suggested behind the old Kmart. Again, it's not a cost. You guys just put up, what was that, mobile, whatever, overgrown tool shed out there. It's got the facilities. I don't know what's in there. You guys had plans and you put it up. It's got the bathrooms there. It also has, the juvenile detention center. During the day and all that, I'm sure the cops don't mind opening the door so a guy can go run into the bathroom. Again, it's a no-brainer. Matt went out there and he paged off an area on the west side of that new building, and it's 200 feet by 70, which is twice what we need. It's got access roads, it's got everything. So there's absolutely no reason why not. Liability insurance was mentioned. Every piece of ground in the county that has the county-owned stamp on it has liability insurance. Again, you're already paying for insurance for a piece of grass that you're not using. Let us use it. That's enough with that. And I know I'm running over my 3 minutes and I'm trying to really hurry, but that was a biggie. Michigan Veteran Trust Fund. We have a member, Mr. Sherwood. According to the DAV headquarters for the state, He has not been sponsored by the DAV since December 2017. So he is not appointed through the DAV. Meaning you guys have the ability to remove him and put somebody else in that gets recommended by the chapter. He has done a whole lot of nothing, and that's why he came off of the other committee. You guys already know this stuff. Larry, who's hiding back there, he asked us for a couple of boxes to put old flags in. He'd get them from waste disposal, and I guess they get quite a handful of them. People throw them away instead of disposing of the flags properly. VFWs, AMVETS, every organization has their own ceremonies on how to dispose of them the way it's supposed to be. I came up with 2 great big wooden boxes to be able to put them in. They used to belong to Salvation Army. I've already got the AMVETS and Boy Scout over there to decorate them for nothing. We're going to put one at the waste disposal and the other one at the AMVETS. Again, free. We're not looking to put a hook on in this at all. It's what should be done in taking care of our flag. The other thing, you were there. Don't look at me like that. We had a meeting at the Veterans Committee. Yeah, thank you. Take it out of reach. Last month, as is, and it came up. They were talking about paying for a building, an office, whatever, to move the VA. I explained that according to 2 different opinions, both by Toski, Miss Wonderful, you can't do that. You have to adhere to the millages and the exact language that they use.
Where are my patients then, once?
Huh?
You know what those were. You know there's another opinion you're not mentioning that was specific.
I'm working on it. There is another opinion, yes. After the fact, it was brought up saying, yes, you can do it. What is the legal preference?
When you ask an attorney. one
Mike
specific
suggested
question,
that there was
answer
a,
specific question.
that Mike suggested that there was, that those 2 opinions were superseded, which is a new term on me because I didn't know opinions could be superseded.
All right.
Don't get into slow.
Les, my preference is that we serve the veterans in this county.
Yes.
And do it to the best of our ability, and I think this is going beyond the scope of public comment.
Okay, that's fine with that. We will talk at another time. Okay?
Yes.
I'm not trying to step on toes, I'm just trying to get it resolved.
Okay.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's it. I've done run out of things to talk about. For now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will move on to our next agenda item, the
I
presentation.
just have something to say real quick. I am probably going to be leaving early. I have to be to work. Actually, I have to be to work at 5, but I've decided to stick around. They told me to come in when I can, so I might not make this whole agenda. I just step out, so don't be surprised when I run through the driver with you.
No, Gary, you can.
So I just want to let everybody know.
All right, thank you. We have our MSU Extension 2018 Annual Report. Mark Rankin, District 9 Director, you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary with MSU Extension, so I've learned a lot this first year. It's been exciting to see all the programs that are going on in Shiawassee County, so it's been a pleasure working with you and your residents and your community. And I would like to start off by thanking you guys. Obviously, you guys know that we're on a millage, and that's how we're partially funded. And so for every $1 we get from the county, we bring in an additional $5 in services to Shiawassee County. I provided an annual report for you guys. I'm not going to read it to you because you can read it for yourself. But there's a lot of figures off to the left, and I get questioned quite a bit as to where these figures come from. They actually come from the Anderson Economic Group, and if you want to look up these figures, you can go to mispartanimpact.msu.edu, and you can look at any county in the state and see what type of economic impact, how many MSU students, how much spending is done with local businesses, how much financial aid is provided to residents of your county, as well as how much youth are involved in 4-H. Another category that is in there that's not listed on this report, but I think it's important, is because you are so close in proximity to Lansing, there are 431 faculty and staff that live in Shiawassee County as well. So I just wanted to highlight some of those figures. One of the big programs that we do is SNAP Education, which is Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. We had over 1,100 people go through our series of classes last year. We had another 2,000 go through one-time presentations. We also have over 3,000 youth that participate in the 4-H program here in Shiawassee County, which is huge. And as you guys know, based on research, students that are involved in 4-H are 4 times more likely to graduate and be successful contributing members of their community. And latest research just came out, about 67% of the kids who are in 4-H go on to 4-year colleges versus about 52% of students who are not in 4-H. So that's our staff. So once again, I'm very excited about some of the things that we've been doing. I know we have a new farm management person that's been working in this area, and farm stress is a big issue, especially with all the rain we've had. So we've had a lot of people calling in regards to farm stress and also farm management, handing farms down from generation to generation. So we've been working with the farmers on that. We get a lot of calls on all sorts of crops, and it's been exciting. I've learned a lot, so I wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to work with you, your community, and your residents. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, our next agenda item is to consider authorizing the Health Department to sign a grant agreement with the Michigan Primary Care Association for the Perry Public Schools Mental Health Program in the amount of $100,000 for a period of June 1/19 through September 30th, 2020.
I'll make that motion.
I will second that
All right, we have a motion and a second. Larry?
Yes, this is very similar to our program that we have in Durand, the school wellness program. The funding source is coming from the same entity, Michigan Primary Care Association. The funding originates with the state legislature. They did a supplemental in December, a big push for mental health services in schools. I think you've all seen what's been happening in schools. Security is a big concern, but also actually treatment. So once this money became available, we did not want to pass up on the opportunity. This will fund a master's level social worker in the Perry School District. Perry was selected based on need. We reached out to the RESD to find out which school district had the most need, and come to find out Perry didn't have a social worker on staff full time that was able to handle these concerns, which is basically having not consultations, but sessions with students that are having troubles. And this will be 6 through 12. There's 2 buildings at Perry. The nice thing is their location is very close, so they can be housed on the same campus. And we're excited to do this. It's funded for 2 years. Obviously, if the funding ends after the 2-year period, then we'll discontinue it. We don't foresee that, and in fact, the Primary Care Association told us the goal would be to expand it and add a nurse, which would be huge, because that would be our second school district where we're funding a full-time nurse. So we're not there yet, but this is a start. We are going to contract this position. We've initially reached out to RESD. They cannot help on that. They have their own challenges with staffing. So we're going to contract with Shiawassee Health and Wellness, formerly Community Mental Health. They will provide the employee. We will subcontract it. And we will probably have that contract in August.
question. Talking about Perry, anything with the viral meningitis, is there anything we need to know or worry or?
So they had a case, in a staff person at the end of the school year. Thankfully, it was at the end of the school year. Viral is the more common of the two, and the less contagious, the less deadly. Standard cleaning procedures, we've been working with the school district. We did have a parent reach out to us. Obviously, social media is a big thing nowadays. We responded to her. But whenever we have a case like that, we obviously have to work directly with the school and our communicable disease nurse in consultation with our medical director. So that person's recovered, Perry schools are cleaned, and the school year's over. So, better in June than in September. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. All right, all those in favor of this motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Any other agenda items to come before this committee?
Maybe we ought to talk about getting a chiller for this building. We
So,
got some problems going on
so
here.
as everyone knows, the heat is on. It's 75 degrees.
I'm feeling it.
And I've notified Tim, because I don't want to be accused of messing something up. So I've notified grounds and buildings and grounds. So hopefully it'll be taken care of for tomorrow's meeting.
Chiller added to the agenda for tomorrow.
All right, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Cindy.
One for
Staff first.